Okay, so you've learned the equation of a line is y equals mx plus b. You need to memorize that for the quiz. And we've already talked about this a lot. M represents the slope and b represents the y-intercept. So if you are given the equation, we did a ton of this the other day. Example A, if you're given the equation in the form y equals mx plus b, we look to figure out which number is in front of x. That will tell you the slope. So in the first example, what is the slope? If the equation is y equals 3x minus, so m is equal to 3. Now, we should write it as a fraction because you're going to be learning how to graph this today. How would you write 3 as a fraction? 3 over 1. Because slope equals rise over run. So the numerator tells us what to rise by, the vertical distance, and the denominator tells us the run, so what to count for the horizontal distance, okay? And in this example, we know that m is the slope, and what is b equal to? -5. Good? M is equal to -1 over 2. It's the coefficient of x. And because it's negative, you know that the line is going to fall to the right when you graph it. And b is what? +2. Okay? So one of the points on this line would be located at 0, 2. Everyone know why? Why did I put 0, 2 for the coordinate? A y-intercept always has to start with 0. Otherwise, it's not going to hit the y-axis, right? Okay, so we're gonna graph these. Okay, so to graph directly from the equation, you're going to start by plotting the y-intercept, because that's a point that we know that's going to be on the line, right? So in the first example, what's the y-intercept? The equation is y equals 2x minus 3, so the y-intercept is, good, -3, which means it's going to hit the y-axis. Here's our y-axis, right? Here's the y-axis. So I know the point has to be at 0, 0, -3. So it's going to hit the y-axis here. Does everyone see that? Plot your first point. 0, -3. That's where the line hits the y-axis. Does everyone understand that part? So you're plotting this point. 0, -3. Okay, this is the origin, 0, 0. I know the line has to hit the y-axis here. Does everyone see why? Then, all we're going to do is count the rise over run. So what is the slope of this line going to be? What's the slope? Look at the m. What's m equal to? Slope is 2. And remember I said to write it as a fraction, so it would be 2 over... Is it positive or negative? Positive. So we know that it's going to go up. It's going to rise to the right because it's a positive slope. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to go to my y-intercept. I'm going to count rise is 2. Look here. 1, 2 over 1. That's my next point. 1, 2 over 1. That's the next point. 1, 2 over 1. 2 over 1. And then all you have to do, connect the points. So again, we're starting at, what was the y-intercept? Start at -3, which is here. And the slope is 2 over 1. So you just have to count up 2. Remember we did this? Over 1. That's the next point. And just keep going. You're just making a line. Up 2 over 1. Rise over run. Next point. Up 2 over 1. That's the next point. I know that the slope is positive, so it has to rise to the right. If I wanted to extend the points the other way, that you can do that as well. I would go down 2 and then which direction, left or right? Good, because we're creating a straight line. So you just as long as you have about 3 to 4 points, that's all I want. Then you just connect the points. There's my line. That's the line. That's it. Here's my line. So the first thing you need to do is figure out what is the y-intercept. That's your starting point. What's B? What's the y-intercept? 2. So I know that I have to plot the point at 0, 2. That is my starting point. The line will hit that point. What is the slope? -3 over 4. It's a negative slope, so I know it has to go down, falling to the right. Anytime you have a negative slope, it goes down to the right. Okay? You need to memorize that. That will help you figure out what direction to go. So you can go either direction. My rise is 3. So I'm going to go down 3. Okay, your rise is always up or down, and your run is always left or right. If you want to write that down. Down 3, and am I going to go left or right? It's a negative slope. Right. How many? 4. And you just plot the next point and connect it. You drew the line. I want at least 3 points though when you do this. So if I go up, what if I chose to go up 3? 1, 2, 3. If I go up 3, which way would I go, left or right? 1, 2, 3, 4. You can look, you can go either direction and just.
So I can go left too?
If you go left 4, then you go up 3. Yeah, look, I just went up 3. Look. 1, 2, 3, and then I have to go left 4.